What's going on, everyone? So, the two main guys that are in the news as far as free agents that the Lakers are hopeful to sign is Spencer Dinwiddie and Gary Trent Jr. These are two guys that the Lakers kind of have their eyes on. And apparently, both of these guys are kind of waiting for the Lakers. Now, the Lakers have to make a consolidation trade. They basically have to unload a couple guys in order to get these guys because their roster is full. The Lakers right now are exploring trades because a lot of people are like, why haven't the Lakers done, some type of trade just to unload salary and players and stuff? And it's like, because if they can pull an actual trade off that where they get a player that they need, that's the better approach, right? Like if you could unload two guys, or you could unload those same two guys in a trade to go get Jeremy Grant, not have to give up the second round picks that it would take to just dump those players on a team, and you can include them in a deal for, again, just using Jeremy Grant as an example, but a Jeremy Grant, and now you don't have to do that salary dump trade. Now you don't have to do that, consolidation trade. And then now you got a guy like Jeremy Grant, and you can now go sign Spencer Dinwiddie and Gary Trent Jr. and all that stuff, right? So supposedly these two are kind of waiting around, being patient. There have been some reports, like little minor reports, that say Gary Trent, he's basically interested in two teams, kind of waiting to see what happens with those two teams, but he wants the money, preferably. So he's being patient and kind of waiting it out to see if somebody comes and offers him, $8 million a year or something like that, right? Then he may end up taking it, but otherwise, he's expected to have interest with the Lakers at maybe the taxpayer mid-level. So we'll see. Time will tell. But beyond these two, or even in place of one of these two, I don't hate the idea of taking a flyer on Isaac Okoro, because he was very impressive last year. Now, he's 23 years old. He's like 6'5", 6'6", 6'8" wingspan, but he showed some real versatility on both sides of the basketball. And I'm actually surprised the Cavs. Now, the Cavs, it appears to kind of be like, one, finance thing, and two, they're kind of trying to like figure out like what are they going to do, right? There's talks about, like, one report says that they're going to trade Jared Allen, next report says they're not going to trade Jared Allen, one report says that they're going to trade Darius Garland, next report says they're not going to trade Darius Garland. So it appears that like Okoro is kind of the odd man out just by default at the moment. And to me, it's like, this is a guy that you might be able to swoop in and snag. And he makes sense at the 3. He makes sense at the 2, right? Like, this is a guy that can defend multiple positions, play multiple positions, and he also shot the ball very well last season. So from 3-point range last year, it was low volume, only 3.1 attempts. So what does he look like at 5 or 7 or whatever attempts? But he shot 39.1%, right? And so he's improved from 3 every season. He shot 29%, then 35%, then 36.3%, and then last year at 39.1% from 3-point range. Right? From the field, last year from 2-point range on 3.8 attempts, shot 57%, had an EFG of 57.7%, and then had a field goal percentage of 49% total on 7 attempts per game. From the free throw line, needs work. Last year was his worst free throw percentage at basically 68%, which is terrible. He's definitely got to pick that up. But based on his 3-point shooting, I do think his free throws can come around. His best free throw percentage was actually the year that he shot the most free throw attempts. Not a lot, again, 2.3 compared to 2, but he was 77%. So if he could kind of get back to that, that would be nice. But a guy that could do a little bit of everything. This is a guy that averages 3 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. And last year averaged 9.4 points. But to me, it's more of like, so like the Lakers, they're interested in guys that, yes, absolutely help now, but they also want guys that can be beneficial for the future. They want those development guys. All we keep hearing about is, we want to put a development program. We want to have a head, a director of development. We want to get these young potential diamonds in a rough that they can go and acquire and have the upside and potential to kind of bring in the next wave, right? Kind of like the college system, right? Where you have like your guys, they come in, they go on, and then boom, the next wave comes in, and you just are cycling through this wave. It's kind of in that sense, right? Where you have these development programs where, every year you get 5 new guys, and then the other guys leave and the new guys come in, right? And, so you have these guys and they're part of, like, so we'll just use like Reeves, D'Lo, Vando, and Rui, right? Right now, those are the core guys. We'll see what happens with trades. We'll see what happens with whatever. But right now, those are the core guys. Well, at some point, their time is going to come. At some point, they're going to go to other teams, or, they're going to retire, or they're just going to phase out, or the Lakers are going to trade them, or whatever. And when that happens, the idea is that, okay, here comes the next wave. Here comes the Dalton Connect, the Max Christie, the Jalen Hood-Schifino, the Maxwell Lewis, right? And so, to me, if you can kind of get a best of both worlds type guy, I think you do it, right? Like, Isaac's a guy that has shown he can play in the NBA. He was actually very good for Cleveland last year. Very good. And was able to defend, hold his own, hit shots, do a little bit of everything. He had a couple, very, standout games, a couple big, just quality games, period. Like, this is a guy that has a lot of potential and upside. It's a guy that already looks very promising. And it's like, man, if you can bring him in, why not bring him in? Again, the Cavs want him, but it kind of, it looks like he's kind of the last thing on their pecking order, right? Their wish list, whatever we want to call it, right? So that could be to the Lakers' advantage, to where it's like, okay, they're distracted by everything else that's going on. They're trying to figure out everything else that's going on. Maybe we can come in and swoop up and grab Isaac and kind of bring him under our program, bring him under our banner, and now we're in good shape, right? So the other thing is, too, is that, the Cavs could, if they wanted to, I believe he's a restricted free agent, and so they could kind of match, but they might not, right? Like, they very well might just say, let him go. Right now, again, you're if you offer him a vet minimum, then they probably take him. But at let's say Gary Trent goes elsewhere. Yeah, you can bring in Spencer. Who else are you going to get that's better than Isaac Okoro? I think you offer him the taxpayer mid-level and see if the Cavs match. If they do, then you move on to the next guy. If they don't, then I think you got a real gem. I think you got a real steal. I like Okoro for the Cavs also. And that also is probably why teams aren't rushing to the door for him, because again, Cavs could just match whatever contract is offered to him. But again, I just think the Cavs Donovan Mitchell just re-upped. They got to figure out what's going on with Darius Garland. What are they going to do with Jared Allen? What are they going to do with the roster? Are they going to improve it? Are they they have a lot that they need to figure out right now. So it's kind of while they're looking over here, maybe we can sneak in through here and swoop up Okoro, and they might just go, we got other pressing needs to worry about right now. We don't want to lock up Okoro, and now, we're moving or doing whatever, right? So I think it's at least worth a flyer, right? Thing is that if you put in an offer for him for the restricted, then it ties up the money momentarily. So they can't do it right now, but if he's still there when you're done doing whatever you're doing, right? Whether it's trading for Jeremy Grant or whatever it is, you're just kind of sitting there and there's not really better options. Why not just put the offer in? Even if the money's sitting because I think they have 48 hours, 72 hours now. Okay. At that point, everybody that's still there is probably still going to be there. So even if you have to wait 2-3 days, and it doesn't work out, no biggie. Just move on to the next guy, because that next guy's still probably going to be there. So I like the idea of bringing him in. I think he could be a very valuable asset for now and the future. This is a guy that, wasn't afraid of the moment, played defense, hit shots, did a little bit of everything, right? I think he's very versatile. Slot him at the 2, slot him at the 3. Just gives you another young guy to help grow, develop. And the idea is you develop one or two of these guys into a star, you're golden. Now, I'm not saying Isaac's going to be that guy or anything like that, but even if he's not, right? If he's just a guy that comes in, does the dirty work, hits open shots, is like a legit 3-and-D guy, why not? Right? Not every guy has to be a superstar. Not every guy has to be a star. It's okay to kind of just have a guy just be a very good all-around basketball player. And I think as Isaac Okoro could very well be that. But how do you feel? What are your thoughts? Let me know how you feel down in the comments below. Do you like the idea of going and getting him? Do you think, nah, stay away from him? There's other options out there. You're better off getting those other options. Again, how you feel, whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.